Hi, I'm Danny Lipford.
And I'm Chelsea Lipford-Wolf.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show.
This week, a Kentucky couple gets a whole new look for their backyard thanks to a few days' work and a big stack of pavers.
I didn't know the difference between the weeds and the bushes, and so I just started cutting everything.
What do you think so far?
Unbelievable.
Every year, we reinvent someone's patio courtesy of the Backyard Paradise contest sponsored by Pavestone. This year's winner is from Lexington, Kentucky.
Hi, Danny. I'm Walt.
And I'm Beth.
And this is Pinky. And this is our patio.
We would love to have a backyard pavestone paradise, and we'd love to be on your show. Hi.
Walt Arnett and his wife Beth share this home with their dog Pinky.
This is Pinky's house. We just live in it, and we answer to her every whim. This is really embarrassing.
She runs the
what
house.
crazy dog people we are.
We got the call from Danny, and he asked, do we want a Pavestone backyard makeover? And that was a pretty easy answer. Yeah, absolutely.
We really liked our house. We've done a lot to the inside. We don't go outside a lot.
Yeah, mainly because the patio is an eyesore, it's small. We bump into each other when we're trying to entertain people.
Before a design can be created, Chris Clare from Pavestone surveys the site to see exactly what we have to work with.
When we decided whether or not we were going to go ahead and excavate the existing concrete pad versus doing an overlay, we needed to figure out how much room we had a threshold to play with. We needed to make sure that we had enough room that we could change the level, just because we had some drainage issues going towards the house. We wanted to be able to manipulate the level and get the fall off away from the house.
Well, first of all, congratulations on winning the Backyard Paradise contest. This should be a lot of fun.
Thank you. We're so excited. We can't wait.
Well, you know, it's a pretty small little area here when you get out here, because I love the table and what you did with that, and you need this many chairs at least, but boy, we need a bigger footprint here to make a little bit. So let me show you what they came up with here.
Oh, I love it.
So the pavers we're going to be using is called a Taverna. It has a textured surface to it, lighter colors. We wanted to make sure that we keep the lighter colors, the earthier tones in this.
Okay, and you see you've got the fireplace there.
We also brought in a Rumblestone fireplace kit as well. And we're going to flank it with a couple retaining walls. That way it kind of sets it apart and outlines the fireplace.
It's beautiful.
So much more space.
Oh, that's gonna be so nice.
You probably have some cool nights here in Lexington from time to time.
Definitely utilize the fireplace.
Can he provide wood? Does he chop wood and bring wood in a lot?
He can buy it at the store.
That's good. That's good.
He knows where to buy it.
But I heard he's really good at gardening.
So I thought it'd be a great idea to buy a sequoia online. It probably only made it actually 2 weeks.
Wow, all right. Well, Chelsea and I will take care of the plants.
Oh, good.
That's good.
And then I would really like to paint your doors to make them stand out from the rest of the house.
I think that's a good idea.
Tomorrow morning early, trucks are going to show up. Pavestone's going to be everywhere. The guys are going to come in the course of just 2 or 3 days, you'll be ready for a party out here.
Awesome. We're ready.
All right, great.
The next morning, as the trucks begin unloading out front, we get busy clearing the old patio in the back.
Geez, Walt, what did you do to this table?
We built the tabletop, and we used hard porcelain tile, and we wanted something that would be weather resistant, and it's nice and big.
It's a pretty heavy table.
Is this your design, Walt?
This is all Beth.
All Beth.
Yeah.
Should we bury his tree?
Thank you. It'd be such a shame if this broke. Only the finest of discarded pallets did we use. If you put it too close to the pallets from the pavestone, they might throw it away on accident. That'd be a shame.
Okay, I made the sideboard, but it was in a pinch. I needed a surface for parties and things. And it kind of stayed. So the sideboard can go. Let's face it, it can go. Nice to have something else. It's ugly, okay.
Well, Chris, we're really lucky that we have this much of an offset. You can go right over this existing slab, I guess.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got a lot of room to work with right here. You can see where the water had set up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to build that up with some leveling sand, take it away, take the fall away from the house.
We've all taken up slabs before. And so I'm glad we don't have to do that today. And what about the garage door? You've got a little offset dropping down over here.
Yep. So we're going to take that patio straight out here, right to the edge of this garage door here, and just take it straight on out from here.
Okay, perfect. That's good. And then we're going out to, I guess, the edge of that window. And I kind of like saving the tree myself.
Yeah. It gives us something. It gives us another feature piece in our landscape that we can work around. So
yeah, perfect.
It's going to look good.
But there are some plants that will have to be removed.
Walt, this thing is way overgrown. How did it get that big?
It was a little annoying bush, and then it turned into a big annoying bush.
Okay, but be truthful now. Do you have real permission to cut this down? Because I know there's a little conflict in things here.
Walt wanted to clear some of it out, and he hired some help, and I came home and all my trees were gone in the back of the yard, along with 7 rose bushes.
Yeah, I got rid of those.
Oh, you got rid of everything, and I was I'm not happy about all my trees being gone.
That's okay, he doesn't have to cut it down, I'll cut it down.
Besides removing this shrub, there's also some pruning to do on the trees around the patio and a section of fence to remove so we can get heavy equipment into the backyard. Right now, it looks pretty rough, but it's about to look a lot better.
If you're looking for a safe, non-toxic way to keep your lawn and gardens healthy this year, you don't have to buy commercial fertilizers. All you need is a bag of Epsom salt. That's right, regular old Epsom salt. Now, it's not salt at all. It's actually magnesium sulfate. And magnesium is used in most fertilizers because it gives a real nutritional boost to plants. And we're going to be using it in this spreader to apply to the lawn. You usually need about 3 pounds of Epsom salt for maybe 1,250 square feet of lawn. But it's also great for almost anything else you grow outdoors and indoors, including houseplants. You can sprinkle around the root zones of trees. You can mix it in with the water for your house plants. If you grow flowers, especially roses, Epsom salt is great. You mix it in with the water and you'll get much bigger blooms and much deeper, richer color. So go to the store, you can pick up Epsom salt at almost any department store and pharmacy and use it in your garden this year.
This week we're in Lexington, Kentucky, where Walt and his wife Beth won our Backyard Paradise contest, and we've just begun transforming their cramped patio into something special. As Chris and I talk with the crew foreman Bobby, we see some changes that need to be made because the L-shaped planting bed will take away square footage from the patio.
But they're using the mini excavator in order to pull out a lot of the dirt we need. They'll also get the grass in. They even have this large stump to dig out, which they'll have to be careful. That's right at the corner of the foundation. They also have these heavy slabs that they'll have to take and move out front and load it in the dumpster. Now coming up the hill will be all these tons of pavestone material that's going to make this backyard look so good. I don't know what it is. I love chaos like this.
Once the obstacles are removed, the guys check the elevation to determine how much soil needs to be removed for the extended patio. Then they mark the location for the fireplace and begin digging an even deeper foundation to support it.
We've done the outside fireplaces before, and a lot of times we'll put concrete down, but I see Bobby decided to put the crushed stone down.
Yeah, we decided to go with crushed stone because we didn't really have a lot of time to let the concrete set up. So we went with the sand and stone, angular sand and stone mixture. It gives it a good compaction. So going down about 14 inches, we came up compacting it in lifts just to make sure we had a good compaction all the way
Yeah, I'll
through.
tell you, when you put it down in lifts, anytime you're filling in, whether it's dirt or sand, or in this case, the stone and the sand, you know, putting it down in just those 2 or 3 inch increments, that's the only way you're going to get it compacted.
Absolutely, and if you don't do that, you're going to end up with just a compactable crust over the surface, and over time it's going to settle. And when you've got that fireplace on top that's in excess of 10,000 pounds on top of that sub base, you need that good sub base.
It's really deceiving about this slab because you just automatically think the water flows away, but it's obvious in what they're building up back there, there really was a serious problem on that.
There was, and we had a little bit of room to play with, and you can see we got our basis set, we know where we're going to start. They're building up a foundation right now, putting some leveling sand, they're going to screed it off and get that flow away from the house.
All right, so your fence is in pretty bad shape, but it's in such bad shape that if we pressure wash it, it might make it worse. So we're gonna spray this cleaner on it that'll help get rid of the lichen, which I'm not liking. I've showed this wet and forget outdoor spray before, and I still love it. All you have to do is spray it on mold, mildew, algae, and even lichen like we have here, and the rain and wind will help you get rid of it without having to scrub it.
While the crushed gravel paver base is being loaded into the patio space, the guys are also busy building 2 of those L-shaped retaining walls. The first will create a planting bed around the tree, and the second will establish a lower level of the patio in front of the garage door. For this to work, the elevation of the paver base and the retaining wall blocks have to line up just right.
Have the privilege of laying the very first paver. First of
It'll
many.
be my pleasure.
Right in there, we got it notched, and then we go right in there. There you go. That's it. Now, lay the second ceremonial. It just goes, yep, right there. There you go. Okay, all right, that sets the whole pace for everything here, and they'll be able to start laying all of these. They're hoping by the end of the day to have pretty much the majority of this done.
What's great about these pavers is there's no one way to do it. It's a lot of mixing and matching.
It happened so fast, it was hard to take in. I mean, how quick the patio disappeared and the pavestone started going down. I mean, it was starting to look so different so quickly.
By the end of the day, all of the patio is laid except for the cuts around the edges, and the crew begins putting down the first few layers of the fireplace so that the adhesive can dry before they continue the next morning.
We've seen you guys build one of these before, but what surprises a lot of homeowners, there's absolutely no mortar being used.
No mortar, just some adhesive with stack and go. You know, we've simplified this. You can see on here we've got this color-coded layer by layer instruction. It's like Legos for adults.
And then no cutting either. You're not having to cut any of these.
No cuts at all.
I guess it would be a great project for a family to do with the kids and so forth.
Absolutely. You can accomplish this project in one full day.
Is that right?
Yep.
One full day?
One full day.
Unbelievable.
It would be a very full day though, because there are hundreds and hundreds of these blocks to put in place. While the crew is busy with that, Chelsea and Walt remove the garage door and begin prepping it for paint.
Was Beth pretty impressed when she got home from work yesterday?
Oh yeah. She came back and she didn't see any of the disarray of all the equipment. She just zoomed right in on the patio. I'll let her assume I did, you know, I put down a lot more blocks.
Okay, that's fine.
Until she sees the show, of course.
Yeah.
I put down 2, so I did put down blocks.
Yeah, multiple. I like it.
So I just didn't say how many. And I think Pinky will like the patio too. She was actually inspecting the work yesterday, so I think she gave it, yeah.
Did it pass her approval?
So normally I would put painter's tape on that window.
It has the window glazing, which isn't very straight, and so sometimes it's just easier to paint and then scrape it off later on the glass part. So that's the option I'm going with.
Makes sense.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah, usually I have to tape everything off possible. Beth doesn't need to. She's
Yeah,
an artist, so
she's an artiste.
I don't know like why I'm even near paint right now. She normally
Well, we weren't warned, that's why. We weren't warned about your skills or lack thereof. I'm not sure what he's talking about. He looks like a pretty good painter to me.
Now, if you do projects that involve a lot of wood or even a little bit of wood, you probably need to fine-tune that wood to get the look you're going for. And chances are you would need, say, a chisel or a rasp or a file in order to do that. Well, wouldn't it be great if you could combine all those tools into one? And, well, Nicholson has done just that. Look right here. This is their woodchuck chisel line, and it comes in the 3 different sizes that are most commonly used on wood projects, be it 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, or 1 inch. And I've got the 3/4 inch out here in the package just to show you. Now, all of them come with the rasps on them. Now, you've got a 1/2 round rasp on the front, and then you have a flat rasp on the back. But you also have the file on the side. So now you can do everything you need to do to fine-tune your wood project with just one tool. So I guess that begs the question, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck?
Walt and Beth's patio makeover is well underway. The pavers that have to be cut around the edges are going in one by one, and the edging is being installed on the outer perimeter. Meanwhile, the stacked stone fireplace is nearing completion with a little help from Walt.
I learned one trick of the trade is in order to get everything level, you might occasionally put in a washer, and they said that it occurred to them just to use pennies. And so I was able to use my collection of pennies, so now I have about $3, $4 of pennies throughout, keeping it nice and level.
I never thought I'd have a patio that nice ever.
It was a total coincidence, but how perfect that the chairs that Beth and Walt purchased matched the doors that we painted pretty well.
It's the perfect patio.
And now you'll be able to roast marshmallows.
Yeah.
If you're into marshmallow roasting.
Who's not? Who's not into marshmallow roasting? Who doesn't like a s'more?
That's right. No one I want to be friends with.
Nobody.
So I picked out some plants to put around the new patio.
Okay.
I heard that you liked roses, or you had roses before.
Rose bushes.
Do you like roses?
I love roses. We won't talk about how they went missing, mysteriously missing. When I got home from work, they were gone.
Yeah, the main problem was I didn't know the difference between the weeds and the bushes, and so I just started cutting everything.
Yeah, I definitely am missing my rose bushes.
They're putting the finishing touches on all of the paver work, including the wing walls. And I love this design, how it has the 45s pointing out, kind of similar to the fireplace. And speaking of the fireplace, they're putting the last few courses on the top there, just about to finish that out. Then they'll shift all of their focus over to this wing wall. After this is finished, the paver project is complete, and then we're ready to tackle the landscaping.
This guy is going to go behind the fireplace, and it'll mature, and then you'll see it over the fireplace.
I love that
So
one.
I guess we'll start putting that one there.
Okay.
And then the roses are supposed to go around it. Of course, I had to get some roses to replace the ones that Walt tore out that Beth loves so much. But I also took into consideration the amount of sunlight that the backyard gets and how big the plants were going to get once they matured. And I also wanted to get some that weren't going to be so high maintenance for them.
Yeah. They saved a little clump of some I had somewhere.
Planting today easily doubled the amount of work I've done ever in my life and a yard. So, and where do we put these?
That is for around this tree over here.
Okay.
And from patio to tree. However, I think there's 10 of them, so however that works out. And this should fill in nicely where it's just like a mound of grass right here.
Is this sad? This is the first tool I've borrowed from a neighbor. And then I'll forget to return it. I think more than anything, Beth is really pleased that we actually have some plants that I will not cut down. Yeah, you like these, don't you, Beth? Which ones are the roses?
These are not weeds.
Okay.
Walt, Rose, Walt.
I remember I cut down a bunch of those. Well, they didn't have the roses on the top, so it was hard to tell.
Just because they're not pink doesn't mean they're not
I
roses.
just remember
they
the
were
thorns
red.
grabbing me when I was trying to get the weeds out of them.
Oh my.
So I planted some redemption roses, and so hopefully I've redeemed myself in Beth's eyes.
It's only appropriate he should plant all the roses, don't you think?
I promise I will take care of them and I will not cut them down, and so I can enjoy my patio and not be in the doghouse.
Once the new plants are in place, we surround them in the beds with a layer of mulch, and soon after that, we're ready to lay sod to return the lawn to normal. Then we begin moving Beth and Walt's stuff back onto the new patio. Of course, Walt had to try his hand at decorating too.
Sorry, Walt.
I liked it right there. I think it still had a fighting chance.
When Walt and Beth first entered this contest, their patio was tiny, plain, and slightly dysfunctional. After a few days' work, a few dozen plants, and a few thousand pavers, things are an awful lot different.
I couldn't have imagined it turning out any better. And it's so beautiful. This is one of the most memorable things I've ever done.
It's really gone past my expectations. I was just excited to get rid of the boring slab, and so I'm excited to come out and enjoy my patio for once. But now I feel like I'm stepping out into a resort.
The patio itself is almost divided up into little rooms. There's sort of a dining room area, and there's kind of a living room area with the fireplace and the seating, and then the grill is far enough away from the dining room table that it's just more functional. And I could see us spending a lot of time out here, whether we're cooking out or just kicking back, or I want to bring my laptop out here and work. I think it's such a great space. I am excited about the replacement rose bushes / apprehensive, but I think we have trained Walt not to rip them out even if there are weeds next to them.
Now, I plan on actually doing a lot more work to take care of the yard. Before, everything just felt like a chore, but now that I have such a nice patio, I have to make it look and keep looking great.
Best
Like
part.
that, yeah?
Best part.
If I had a patio like that in my backyard, I would use it all the time. And developing outdoor living spaces continues to be one of the most popular home improvement trends in the United States. And I know Walt and Beth will enjoy it year-round. I hope we've been able to share some things that you can use in your backyard. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you next week here on Today's Homeowner. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around and continue the home improving fun.